right, moving down to discussion item B, the 2025 annual report.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor and Council. So through a lot of work on all of the departments here throughout city operations, we have put together our annual report for 2025. You may recall we kind of started doing this more in earnest last year, gathering different statistics and measures and different kind of summary of what we've been doing throughout the year so everybody is on the same page with what's going on. So detailed stemming after that construction, after that conversation. So the City Hall Public Safety Building project is wrapping up. So you can see the photo on the left is where City Hall was basing operations out of in January of 2025. And the other photo is what you see as a picture taken from this summer. So City Hall, large thanks to Public Works and our Water Wastewater Department. They were the real hands on deck for moving out of the building, moving things into storage, moving back into the building for both City Hall and the Police Department. Public Works also took on all of the landscaping around the building, hanging up signs, building up furniture, all of those different things that goes into moving a building. Our Public Works team really stepped up and went above and beyond to help us out throughout this project and help us save on costs. So I think I can speak for everybody that, expresses a lot of appreciation for the building that we are all sitting in today. Having the police department, the fire department, and City Hall all on one site really helps streamline operations, streamline communications, builds good rapport amongst all of those departments. So very, very thankful to be here. Of course, Armory acquisition and developing a community center. So we took hold of the Armory. We got the keys in April. You can see in the center picture there we are with the handoff. And then we started the process. We didn't just get the Armory, we also got the motor vehicle storage building. So with that key handoff in April, the Water Wastewater Department really started digging in to remodel that for their facility and their needs. And then the rest of us here started learning the ins and outs of the Armory building. The bones are in really good shape and started the process of soliciting community feedback on what it could be. You can see here on the left-hand side is one of our open houses during Corn Capital Day where we solicited community feedback. Throughout the summer, we had our City Hall intern and seasonal help staff the community center for summer hours. We had 94 visitors, 50 of those were repeat visitors, primarily through the 6 to 18-year-old range. We also had Cornland USA. You can see the picture of Cornland on the right. That opened this December through a community partnership with Pages of Our Community Foundation. We are very fortunate to have a volunteer staff that for some limited hours in December, and they welcomed 113 visitors at the end of the year. We also have received in 2025 2 different grants for this building. One is a $13,000 Southwest Regional Sustainable Development Partnership grant for the kind of doing building research and business feasibility study. And then the Minnesota Department of Education grant that the county EDA HRA is being the pass through, and that's $440,000 going into improvements in the Armory. The next, we wanted to highlight our community engagement. Really excited to say that the city was involved in an event almost monthly throughout the city. So we're really getting out there. We're really trying to connect with residents in a variety of ways. So February, it was the winter party in the park. We did ice skating. The weather was really warm, which increased turnout. It also meant our skating rink was a pool by the end of the event. So double-edged sword there. In April, we participated in the career fair to highlight municipal jobs. In May, there was a Veterans Memorial expansion dedication, so a great partnership with our Eagle Scout, Aaron Jurgensen. In June, we kicked off our monthly summer movie night. So we had a movie night and third Thursdays every month from June through October. July, of course, Corn Capital Days, and there are numerous ways the city participated in Corn Capital Days through every single department here. In August, the fire department also staffed the Renville County Fair Beer Garden one night, so they were involved out there. Another outdoor movie. September is, of course, the very popular Rib Fest. October, we have Fire Prevention Week and a lot of Halloween festivities. November was the Turkey Bingo. And then December, we of course kind of stepped it up this year with our holiday decorations, holiday happenings, and Cornland USA officially opened. So moving on to our police department, you can see here calls per year, call volume continues to increase. And I know you heard this from the chief at the last meeting as well. It's a higher overall workload. Officers are spending additional time in investigations. There's a lot more involved with all of our investigations as well because of procedural requirements and documentation standards. So you can also see kind of a breakdown by subject when it's called in. The ICR is assigned kind of a different category. We also have for you kind of a heat map on when we are seeing the most calls come in on what day and through what hour. So you can see when things are a little bit, we don't like to say the word quieter, slower, and when things kind of pick up a little bit throughout the days and the weeks. And this kind of helps you understand why the department is staffed the way it is, when people are on call versus when people are here. And so why that call volume number is different than this page is because this is all the amount of calls that come in. This is the one that involve a direct officer response. So the times that they run traffic, that's not here because they're not specifically being called out for traffic, right? That's self-generated. So that's kind of where you see the difference. The trends are, of course, we're receiving multiple reports of scam related incidents. Fraud phone calls, emails, text messages, online communications. This is when you get security training for phishing emails. It is important. John, do you have a question?
No.
Oh, okay. Administrative workload really increased as the result of the Clean Slate Act and Adult Use Cannabis Act. So you can see that the department processed more than 1,200 cases that have been expunged or sealed. And then just a collection of some noteworthy cases. So officers recovered over 25 grams of suspected meth from a retail location after staff located a suspicious item. Officers responded to an ongoing phone and computer scam. High-speed pursuit originating within city limits. They responded to a reported assault involving threats with edged and firearmed weapons, and then a financial scam involving fraudulent social media communications and gift card transactions, which resulted in a significant financial loss.
Yeah, and then be careful, scams are everywhere.
Everywhere.
Just assume everything is a scam and everyone's out to get you. Kind of have to.
Yeah.
Never open any
Yeah.
window.
Yes.
It will happen to you, I promise.
Especially from your teacher. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Moving on to the Olivia Fire Department. So they had 52 calls total this year. That's an increase of 10 calls from 2024. You can see their breakdown of calls here. As a reminder, their service area is 106 square miles. They have 25 volunteer firefighters, paid on-call firefighters on their roster right now. And in 2025, they offered 22 trainings for them to participate in. I covered a lot of their community engagement activities, but they're really out in the community. You can also see them here. This year, they had the opportunity to do a controlled burn at a house in the township. And if you haven't gotten yours yet, the other community participation they've done is the Lions Club calendar. So you can get a calendar of your favorite firemen. Our electric utility, switching up, we have a kind of some infrastructure upgrades. So they replaced 2 wood power poles this year, 9 streetlight poles, 5 customer-owned poles. They replaced 1 underground transformer. 39 services were converted to underground, and 8 blocks of high voltage single phase line have been buried. We had a total of 2 unexpected system outages for the entire year of 2025. 29 customers were impacted for just under 2 hours, and that was spread across the 2 different outages. And then we changed out 2 3-phase transformers, 1 for Prairie Producers and 1 for Bold School. Yes.
Do we have an estimate on what percentage of our electricity has been undergrounded at this point?
I believe it's over 50%.
Okay.
To be more specific, I'd have to ask for I have that number off the top.
That sounds right.
If you were able to step out before this meeting, you could see the city utilities electric shed progress pretty much completed. So as you all know, we finally got to check the box of selling the old utility building to a local Chrysler dealership in town. And so through kind of a rearranging of buildings. We have the electric utility who moved into both of these sheds just south of the dealership. So the improvements to the west shed of that facility included new concrete floor, drainage, sewer connections, liner steel, upgraded lighting, exterior concrete work, and the addition of an office and a restroom. We were really excited to turn in the porta potty to Vosica Toilet Rentals. So that was a big win for everybody. The east building received new roof and insulation. You can see that here on the left side picture. There was also a replacement of the north wall, which you can see in the bottom right, due to deteriorated wood. They installed liner steel and insulation on the ceiling and electrical upgrades as well. Bringing us to the water department. So you can see here their statistics for total water pumped, their daily pumping. 24 miles of water main is throughout the city for our distribution system. Our number of hydrants stayed the same, 236. They repaired 80 water meters. They handled 569 digging requests. These are really high numbers both this year and last year because Nuvera came in town with fiber internet. These are abnormal numbers. We're hoping to get them down in the next couple of years. A kind of new thing for 2025 is we've been going through this lead service line inventory throughout the entire city. You may have heard about it. We have 5 unknowns out of 1,082 connections. That's a really strong number. We have cities who don't have them, who have a lot more unknowns. To discover the remaining unknowns, we will need to pothole, like to verify what the pipe is made of on the city side of the curb stop. But our engineers are also very happy about that number.
They run a camera down there to figure that out or what?
They sometimes run a camera, sometimes it's them like going down and peeking at it too, depending upon the size of the hole. Wastewater, you can see our total wastewater treated. Kind of new this year is we conducted our first ever PFAS, the forever chemical test, for biosolids that are land applied for beneficial reuse. So we take some of our biosolids, we have an agreement with some local farmers, and we spread it. We had to send in samples for the PFAS test, and the test results were within the acceptable limits. And then, of course, for the water wastewater project, you can see here. So they had the demolition of the existing deteriorated concrete floor. The wastewater staff then regraded the interior to establish proper drainage. Drain was installed in the floor and new concrete slab. Now the building is fully insulated. It's fitted with new liner steel, electrical outlets, and they replaced the windows as well. So it's a really beautiful building.
Those guys are putting in their own office and bathroom too.
Yeah.
Just buying lumber from Menards and doing it themselves.
Yeah. So everybody has taken a lot of pride in doing what they can themselves to help move these projects along. For our storm sewer system, we fixed 3 manholes, we vacuumed and cleaned catch basins, and we maintained the holding pond, especially at West Pond Park, multiple times due to beaver activity. So there were about 6 beavers in there this year, which need to be relocated.
They were brought out to the farm, I'm sure.
Yes, that's what everybody told me, and I'm fine with that. So account maintenance at the end of 2025, there was a total of 1,353 active utility accounts in the city's system. We had over the year 139 account changes due to ownership or renter changes. We have 38 residential accounts participating in clean energy program, and we completed all the required monthly and annual utility reports for 2025. So City Hall operations, you can see here, we've been much more diligent this year. Thank you, Leah Peterson, for tracking phone calls answered, payments over the phone, Dropbox payments, walk-in payments, mail-in payments, and just walk-in miscellaneous. All of these numbers increased from 2024. A couple of different reasons we can guess that they increased. One, people feel more welcome to walk into this building than they may have felt walking into the liquor store. For the second half of 2024, we've also, again, just increased our outreach and operations, and we've been more diligently tracking this. So it'll be interesting to see if we see similar increases in 2026, now that we have a more solid tracking system in place than we did in 2024. For the EDA Main Street, the board identified 15 different key priorities. Some of their success stories, you've seen some downtown enhancements come in, seasonal banners, planters, holiday decorations. The Dowling Square project, while not a specific EDA Main Street project, certainly does enhance our Main Street downtown. They did a number of different own community outreach, Valentine's for businesses. They restarted those Thursdays events downtown. And they were an active partner in Corn Capital Days, the movie nights, trunk or treat. They also received a $20,000 grant from FM Bank through the Federal Home Loan Bank Member Impact Initiative. And some of their new programs that you'll see rolling out in 2026 is a low interest repair loan program, as well as a Grow Olivia grant for new businesses. Some business activity throughout the city. So Patina Pickers celebrated their first year in 2025, as well as transitioned to a new owner that fall. TJ Petals and More opened in 2025, taking over from Olivia Floral and Garden. NB Golf Cars, as you can see here, took over from ST Sports. Hounds and Honey has relocated to Plaza West in 2025, and Olivia Chrysler Center purchased their own property. EDA did acquire land in 2025. They first purchased a vacant parcel along Highway 212, and then they rezoned it from residential to commercial. So finance, you can see what the finance department budgeted for, kind of several important capital and operational expenditures in 2025. The City Hall Public Safety Building was one of them, Public Works pickup truck and snowplow, fencing for fields, library building roof and air conditioner, Dowling Square improvements, the Armory Community Center, and then the remodels for our utility departments. So for Deputy Clerk and Human Resources, the city hosted a total of 25 city council meetings. The Deputy Clerk processed 16 data requests through that office. It's also through our transparency, our YouTube channel. So you can see our videos got just over 1,200 views for city council meetings in 2025. Our top 3 videos listed there. Currently our channel has 56 subscribers and 68 videos. For licenses and permits, we renewed 5 liquor licenses, 7 gambling, and we had a whopping 17 peddler permits, which just goes to show you when it hails, we get a lot of peddlers asking to go door to door to sell you things. For the HR staffing portion, the city of Olivia hired 4 full-time employees, 14 part-time seasonal employees, and 4 volunteer firefighters in 2025. Moving along to planning and zoning, you can see the development applications that were received. Our land use permits brought in $540. We have residential building permits, we had 150 of them. Non-residential building permits, we had 21. And you can see kind of the breakdown of where those are at and the fees collected as well. Additional projects that planning and zoning worked on, updating bylaws, a conditional use permit for the community center, amendments to our coding for mini warehouses, comprehensive plan updates, our airport zoning. They had a discussion about livestock and residential districts. We revamped our sign code. Big shout out to Pam and her team for helping us tackle that one. Rezoning application, variance application, Board of Adjustment amendment, and lot size density, as well as ADUs. So very busy year. For code enforcement, as you probably recall, in May, we kind of did a whole overhaul of the code enforcement and nuisance process and procedure. So throughout the year, we sent a total of 118 code violations pertaining to nuisances were recorded between City Hall and the police department. 77% of those were brought into compliance. So
That's good.
definitely better than 0. So we're making progress. I think as we do it more and more, people are getting used to it. People are seeing it. It definitely helped when we were proactive with the citywide cleanup day. Speaking of Public Works, so they applied street mastic to 28 blocks and completed seal coating on 28 blocks. They spread 130 loads of gravel across 3 miles. They focused specifically on the alleys on the south side of town this year. You may recall last year it was focused on the alleys on the north side of town. They sprayed for mosquitoes 6 times. They removed snow 4 times in 2025. And the Coasted Community Cleanup event
was utilized by 252 residents over 2
Hmm.
days. We plan to bring that program back again this year.
Good program.
It was a really good program, yeah. Some public facilities and park maintenance. You have on the ball field and facility maintenance, there was a nature area planted around the easternmost trailhead. 7 new trees were planted at city parks. They did the skating rink and the snow hill at Henton Park. Again, as I mentioned, they were big in the assistance of moving City Hall and Police Department into the new City Hall, and they landscaped the entire campus of City Hall. They graded, they seeded, they watered, they installed the flower bed. They did a great job. The Olivia Liquor Store, so their total sales for 2025, $1,089,823.21. You can see the breakdown here of liquor, beer, wine, THC, and miscellaneous. They had 41,801 customers, average sale per customer, $26.07. Compared to 2024, sales declined in most categories with the exception of beer and THC. So beer sales showed the slight increase of 0.03. THC products, once again, is the strongest growth category for a municipal liquor store. The sales increased over 87% over the prior year. The Olivier Airport recorded a total of 2,000 takeoffs and landings throughout the year. All hangar spaces are currently filled and being rented. The airport zoning ordinance was updated in 2025. And then every 3 years, we have the 5010 inspection, and that was completed successfully. And that is what we have for the annual report. That was a lot of me talking. Any questions? This will go on our website, shared with staff. If anybody has questions, you can direct them to our website. I just want to give a shout out to all of the department heads who are here at the city. They're the ones who have compiled this information, have made that work possible that you see here throughout the city. So they've done a great job taking initiative, problem solving on the spot, making smart choices throughout the year. And you all should be really, really proud of the team that you have here, because I know I immensely am. So we work well together, we solve problems together, we have fun and joke around together as well. It's a good place to work. And we're just really proud that we can deliver for the residents of the city.